And we're live.
Good morning, everyone. It's your old friend Tom and Todd on here this morning.
Yeah.
And there we are. That lag between us and YouTube got pretty long there. Hope
It's a
everybody's having a great morning.
few seconds this morning.
Good morning, lag. Good morning, Mr. Bumcrack.
Carol!
I
Carol's
read.
first. Dang.
Yeah. She's getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I think she waits for it as soon as it goes live. The YouTube is showing that the show's going to be held. I think she immediately goes on and says first. She's shutting them boys down.
Uh-huh.
Good morning, Anissa.
Anissa.
So
Bumcrack picker.
So you say that the boss lady took a little tumble yesterday.
She didn't fall. She said I
Just
was
twisted.
just walking down the steps and she felt something pop in her knee and then it started hurting like a mofo. So then
I
she
do know
asked
that
it,
feeling.
and so her knees have never been good the whole time we're married. She can say, "Put your hand on my knee," and she'll move it back and forth, and it goes crunch, crunch, crunch,
Oh,
crunch,
God.
crunch. My knees kind of do that now, but not anything like hers. God.
I used to work on this lady's computer, and she said, I mean, she was in her 80s, and I was telling her about my knees were bothering me. She says, "Well, let me tell you what, don't have a knee replacement until you absolutely cannot stand it anymore." And she said she had more problems after she had it than she did. It hurt worse afterwards than it did before.
No, she didn't slip or anything. She just walking down steps and felt something pop.
Well,
And
she
she
should have been
came
home instead
to
of
mention
lollygagging around.
lollygagging over at her mom's. Yeah.
Because I tell you what, it just seems like if anything's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong right before you go on vacation, especially when you're going to be going across the pond. So, are you, with all that's going on with the funeral and whatnot, is that going to affect you? Oh, any? You're not flying through London, are you? You're flying directly to Italy?
I think we go from New York to Milan. So no London. That would be a snafu trying to get through London's airports. Man,
I was watching one of these couples that I follow that go to Disney and Universal and whatnot, and they were flying through. They were flying out of London yesterday, and they had some video, and it was a madhouse. All them American tourists trying to get over there.
it would be interesting to see all that, but you're going to get a better view of it just watching it on live streaming and stuff. There's no way you could get to view all the things you're going to get to view on TV.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely right.
Dang Americans. It's not just Americans, though, because the Commonwealth is a lot of nations, so there's just tons of dignitaries from all over the world probably coming in there. Plus their entourage, they got to bring everybody.
Yeah, apparently there's a lot of Canadians flying over and a lot of Australians flying over.
Yeah, there's, Australia. Probably Hong Kong and China are going to have big. India. Bunch of nations in the Commonwealth and ones that used to be.
Right. I guess Kamala will be going over there.
Oh, great.
Doing her job as vice president.
She's going to. I don't mind her being there, but she will say something political. She will while she's over there.
Yeah.
She'll use that opportunity to just. She will.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about it if she does. It'll just really piss me off.
Honestly, I mean, first thought is yes, she will. Second thought is with all the crap that's going on this morning from stuff that he said in the last couple of days, she might be keeping a low profile.
God, he is. Never mind. Don't get me started.
Because if she says anything out of line, they're liable to rip her apart over there. Oh, we got 13 people in the audience.
Idiot saying all Republicans are radicals, and we want to.
Todd's vice president. Lag.
Yeah.
I've heard Kamala. I've heard Kamala.
I've heard camel toe.
Yeah. Good morning, Tara.
What a piece of work. God.
This is just Google it. Lag. He's the vice president. It's we just need to get. We need to keep a low profile, if that's possible.
I would rather have Obama back than put up with Kamala. If she becomes president over him,
I don't know.
Falling down the.
How many? He's still president. So. I haven't seen how many presidents are going to the funeral.
Man.
Apparently not likely.
Yeah, we're going to miss all that. Probably a good thing.
Yeah, because she's going to be in shopping mode. She's going to be in Milan, darling.
Yeah, Milan, Venice, Rome.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Tara.
Hi, Tara.
Yeah, how's it going, Todd?
It's okay. Right. I'm good. Gwen hurt her knee a little bit yesterday, but
oh boy, we shouldn't be making her work so hard.
I know. She was over visiting her mom. Just walked down some steps and felt her knee pop. Boom.
Oh no, the old papa knee. That's a bitch.
See now around where Tara lives, she'd already got the gun out.
When somebody's knee pops.
Jim goes lame, and he knows his days are numbered.
No, he's not allowed to go lame because we got too much stuff we got to do.
There you go.
Yeah, I told him he's not allowed to die or anything. We got too much stuff we have to wrap up.
You got a child to raise, right?
Yeah, and I got other stuff to do right now, so he's not allowed to die.
Even though Brandon's bigger than both of you.
I think Brandon's as tall as his dad. I don't think he's not taller than Jim yet. But yeah, I mean, because he'll do that stuff where he comes and ram jams you like he's playing football. I'll be like, no. Anyway, thinks he's like blocking you or body checking you, and he'll do that to Jim. And Jim's like, I don't want to say anything. He goes, but that does hurt when he does that. I'm worried he's gonna knock me over and hurt me. Because to him, he's goofing around, but we're getting older. We can't take that kind of stuff anymore.
I know.
God, Jim's young.
Now he's counting the days until he goes on Social Security. So it's like, oh yeah, I got whatever year it is, I can go on Social Security.
There you go.
If it's still there.
Well, it's only like 4 or 5 years away. It should still be there then.
So, public service announcement.
No.
Let's try this.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
That's right.
$103 days. I still got Christmas stuff I got to list. Dang it.
I'm listing Christmas stuff right now.
You still got Christmas stuff to load. List.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now. I bought it on an auction last week. I got a whole bunch of like Christmas stuff. So I'm like, well, I'm just gonna get it listed right now. Because you're coming into fourth quarter, and anyway.
Yeah. I got stuff like Christmas pins.
Pins?
Yeah, like this bird here. Cardinal.
Oh.
And the holly.
Oh.
Hold on a minute.
I'm on Todd's show. So don't say anything controversial.
No, you're on my show.
No, we're on Tom's show. You can talk all you want.
Okay.
And you can talk all you want on mine too. I don't really care.
Okay, thanks. He just said King Charles looks like shit. I go, well, he's old. He goes, yeah, he does look old. Anyway, let's shut up.
Who's older, Biden or Prince or King Charles?
I think Biden is. Charles, because Charles was born in 1948, and the reason I remember that is my mom was born in 47, but was Biden born? Well, no, I guess he would be older because isn't he like 78?
Biden is 79. Charles is like 73.
No. 47, 57.
Charles looks old,
yeah.
Man.
Charles is only 73, according to Google, and Google is all right, always correct.
You can't trust Google. Anyway, yes, yeah. Biden is older. Tom is right.
When Charles was married to Diana, he didn't look near as old as he does now. God.
And he was a lot older than her. He was like, she was 18 and he was like 30, I think.
Lady Dogface that he married is wearing him out.
Well, I don't want to.
There's been a lot of bad years in there between
it wasn't
Diana
like he had a real sexy face. He had those big ears and stuff,
Yeah. Roberta was watching the YouTube show last night.
Ugly.
Roberta was watching the YouTube show last night, and it was like a day in the life of Princess Anne. She really works a lot. She does a lot.
Yeah, they're
Honestly,
one of
if you
the
have any
hardest
interest
working families in the world. You know, the
in,
royal family. They're always
Yeah.
at benefits. They're always at, you
Um,
know. I remember
um,
when the Olympics were over there. The royal family was everywhere doing things around the Olympics. You know,
anybody, if
welcome.
you have any interest in it, there's that show, The Crown, on Netflix. Honestly, it's a really good show. It kind of tells you a lot of the backstory of the royal family. Not that I'm like some kind of royal family watcher, but I will say the show is good.
No, Craig, Tom is not older than Biden for sure. Biden's he's old. Of course, Reagan was older than both of them, wasn't
Not when he was elected, though. Not when he first took office. By the end of his second term, he might have been, yeah. But I was just a babe when Reagan was president.
he? Sure, you were.
good
I
morning,
was like in
Craig.
first grade. I was like in first grade.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was out of high school, I think. I don't remember.
Yeah, let's see.
Um, Craig, you're
I
supposed to
think
be
Jim was in
defending
high
that.
school.
Craig, you're supposed to be defending that lag statement, or not defending it, but criticizing it because you are catching up with the old people. Like says, when are the old people just going to throw in the towel? What do you think this is? Logan's Run? You know, wasn't it about when they turned like 35, they went into the big dancing room and never came out?
yeah.
That was 70s sci-fi, folks.
It was a
I don't think I
good
ever saw that.
premise.
Well, according to Tara's president, we're not going to have enough people to do all the jobs that we're supposed to be doing that needs to be done.
Oh, really? Now we don't have enough people. I was gonna say
So
something there, but I'm not gonna say it. I'm just gonna bite my tongue.
we got our inflation report, and inflation is all the way down to 8.3.
Oh, that's what they predicted. Before I left to take Brandon to school, they said it was gonna be like around 8.5 or something like that.
That's still stupid high.
I think when you go to the grocery store, it's actually higher than that because there's like stuff that I know have gone up more than a third since like from a year ago.
Well,
Yeah, that little bit it went down is probably gasoline. Gasoline's gone
Yeah, I
down.
guess maybe because gas went down. But I'm only going to tell you, like, when I go, like, we went to the grocery store a couple nights ago. We had to pick up some stuff, and it was $50. I'm like, oh my God, Jim, look at this. And I don't want to sound like an old person, but I'm like, this is what $50 buys you: a 24 pack of Walmart water, some of my like LaCroix type water, a a small thing of laundry detergent, and like 2 loaves of bread, maybe a couple other small things. Oh, a thing of mayonnaise, Hellman's mayonnaise, and a thing of ketchup, and that was almost $50. I'm like, we don't even have a piece of meat in the cart anyway.
you know, before all of the epidemic and whatnot, the grocery stores used to run like really good sales on food. They don't do that anymore. You know, everything was always on sale, and they just don't run sales like they used to. I mean, I do the grocery shopping, and you just don't see the same kind of sales.
I think because the diesel still is high, I think that's really affecting food prices because, obviously diesel delivers it in semi trucks, moves it around. It's always handled by diesel trucks.
And I feel like it's because they don't have to.
No, I think the diesels, what are they going to do, Todd? If diesel's that high for delivery, do you think they're going to eat that cost? No. They pass it on to the consumer the same way that we do when the postal rates rise. Do we eat the cost of the rise postal rates? No, we pass it on to the consumer.
Yep.
Mr. Sadie says in his wisdom, my wife spent $359 and didn't even get my plain potato chips.
Yeah.
You should
No,
have
it
sent her
doesn't
back.
take long. Well, good thing if you look at it plus side, if we buy less food, I can maybe get rid of some of this extra pudgy weight off of me, so that'll be good.
Well, that would be, Roberta and I would do that, but we have these other two people hanging out here, and
Oh yeah, well
we
Brandon
have to
likes
make sure they're fed.
yeah, Brandon likes to eat.
Yeah, they get kind of cranky if they don't have something in the house to eat.
Oh.
But Brandon is still a child.
Brandon can eat like I swear to God, he can drink a gallon of milk a day and I don't know, eat a pound of cheese a day.
Well, the milk is okay. That pound of cheese a day, that's kind of
I don't know. He just will grab cheese and snack on it.
that's a little binding.
I don't know. I don't ask him but that kind. I figure if he's in the bathroom and he comes back out, he must be all right. So I'm not gonna ask him any personal questions.
I've started buying block cheese and shredding it instead of buying the bag cheese. The pre-shredded cheese. It
Uh huh.
the it it just actually it's cheaper and also it's the flavor is just a lot better. My opinion. I just need to go. I need to find a place where I can buy me about a 5-pound block of cheese.
I gotta leave the show a little early today. Taking Jenny to the vet to get her allergy shot.
Okay, that's all right. So if Christmas is 103 days away, the last shopping day is 102 days. When's the last? Have they announced when the last shipping date is that they can guarantee delivery?
Well, I don't know if they've announced that yet.
Scary
Thank
in
you.
4K.
What are you doing? Laying in bed watching TV? You're supposed to be on here, Scott.
Oh boy.
Scott's so funny. Because he's gonna be leaving to go to.
Well, I will say we're coming into fourth quarter. Now's the time you should be really pushing the listings up.
Yeah. Not me. I'm fixing to go on vacation.
Don't be lazy. Yeah, don't be lazy. Push those listings up. I've been lazy all summer, so now I have to actually work.
Well, well, like for the last 2 years, y'all were moving all that stuff from Wisconsin down here or to Kentucky. The last few years have been kind of really hard on y'all.
Well, it is what it is. It keeps you young, Tom. If you work hard, it keeps you young because you always have a lot of stuff to take care of. You don't have time to die or get sick.
That sounds like something my dad would say. Yeah.
You realize something like that, you just don't have time for, so you just keep going.
You don't have time to be sick. Come on, let's go get the yard cleaned up.
When I would be, no, I'm not kidding. When I was younger, I had a family member, and I'd be like, oh, I just have this cold today. I just really feel sick. I'm just gonna rest. He goes, well, in my estimation, if you get out of bed and go outside and do some work, a lot of times that'll make you feel better when you're really sick. I'm like, oh, great. So I'm sick and I have to go outside and do work anyway.
Because the smoke from your lawnmower will cure any illness.
Scott, Todd, I'm surprised you didn't have any kind of like lung allergies or infections after cutting your grass.
I was raised in an oil refinery town. I'm used to chemicals getting in my blood.
As I said a while ago, those days of as a small child in Charleston where they do have a lot of mosquitoes during the summer. Running behind those big old fogging machines. Like it was sweet smoke.
Like you're on a dance floor with a fog machine.
Yeah.
Good morning, Glock. Like says, if you say Democrat 3 times, Scott will appear.
Oh boy.
Mr. Sadie says if he didn't get his, he's gonna be like Clark Griswold if you don't get his Christmas bonus. I thought you
Well, I
were
have to
say
pay myself. I don't get anybody that gives me a Christmas bonus. I have to give myself my own Christmas bonus. So he's got it. He's lucky.
I thought you were going to say good morning, chick. I thought you were going to say that you were going to decorate your house up really this year.
I know. I'll see how busy I am. You know, last year I didn't hardly decorate. The year before I actually did go and like decorate the yard and everything, but I didn't do it last year. Honestly, a lot of the blow molds I had, I just been selling them.
Right.
Because I don't know. I mean, I could go with like the air blow up ones, which there's some cute ones, and like the regular blow mold ones because they're all vintage. You know that when you get them out in the sun, the plastic gets weaker and stuff like that, or they start fading. And I'm like, why am I keeping this shit? I might as well just sell it and cash out of it and do something else with the money. Anyway.
Since our neighbors moved from beside us, it's been kind of dark on our street because they started putting up Christmas ornaments or Christmas decorations in the front yard the weekend after Thanksgiving. And they were still putting up stuff, right at Christmas because they had all the blow ups and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. What I want to do is I want to sell more of the other stuff, and I want to buy the Jemmy blow up Clydesdale that goes in your yard. That I'd actually like to have.
Scott, I've always had electricity. Scott said, had they connected Charleston to the power grid in your childhood?
Well, Tom does remember the old South when they would have like fans with ropes. That's how they would fan themselves in the heat and stuff.
I'm not.
You know those ceiling fans with the rope, and you got somebody that pulls the rope while you lay on a chase lounge, while they're fanning you. Tom was not the rope puller.
Seriously, when my dad had his farm, which was my grandparents' house, we were redoing one of the rooms, and we pulled down the beaded board off of it. And there was the original electrical system, and I guess they didn't I guess it was just stud walls back then. I mean, because my family was poor. They had like wires in between the joists, and it would have like one of those ceramic knob looking
like
things.
An insulator.
Yeah, like insulator. That's the word I was looking for. And it was just bare wire.
Yeah.
There was no coating on it.
In Wisconsin, we lived in that. When I was a kid, we lived in an old farmhouse in Milwaukee County, and it was lath and plaster walls, but yeah, it was like old, cloth wrapped wiring and insulators in the walls.
Yeah, Sadie put up that 80-foot snowman for his boss last year. That thing was huge.
Was it actually made out of snow?
No, it was a
Oh, it was like
decoration,
a
but
blow up. I was like, they don't get that much snow there.
anyway, I got to take the dog to the vet. I'll see y'all later.
All right.
All right, bye. Well, now it's gonna get real boring without Todd here.
Or you can. Everybody says we're the loose cannons. We just go everywhere. Well, how's things been up there? You staying busy?
Yeah, pretty normal, I guess. Nothing very exciting. I mean, just, football right now and regular working stuff and that.
Well, you've been showing
Nothing very-
showing horses.
Yeah, I've been riding.
Now, are you wearing the fancy duds, or are you just wearing?
Well, you
casual?
saw me. I mean, I was wearing a suit coat. I rode that one picture I showed last time I was on that saddle seat. So I'm wearing a 3-piece suit there with a derby.
That's right.
And then I've been showing a hunter too. And so then I got like the tall knee-high boots on and the breeches and the hunt coat and the velvet helmet. So I don't know, is that fancy or just medium
That's
fancy?
fancy.
Oh, okay.
I'm used to seeing people on horses and jeans and t-shirts and a
No.
ball cap.
No. I went out and bought new clothes because I was too fat for my clothes, and I got rid of a lot of my stuff I was getting. It was too tight anyway.
No, you're just doing this for the fun of it, right? You're not getting paid to ride, are you?
No, I can't. I'm an amateur.
Oh, okay.
And I want to stay an amateur, so I can't get paid. No, I'm just doing it for fun. Eventually, I'm going to buy myself a show horse.
Why have just one? You need a couple. You need a spare.
Well, I'd like to get, I guess, one and then see where it goes from there. I might get a couple. We'll see. But not right from the start. Because I don't have your big, deep pockets like you rich Southerner. I'm just a regular person.
Yeah.
I's poor. I don't have that kind of money.
Live on the big plant. You have that big plantation up there in
Yeah,
Kentucky?
no. I live like in an old farmhouse with some land. That's it. Old, like sharecropper house or something.
Do you
I'm
still
just
have?
like, I'm like in that Johnny Cash Walking the Line movie. I'm living in like a sharecropper's cabin, and
Do you still have Uncle Henry?
Uncle Henry.
The painting.
Oh yeah, I got it yet. I don't know. I don't have a place to hang it. He's in storage. And he kind of is creepy too. He is a little creepy.
For those that doesn't know, they've got a painting that's very, very old. And it's really creepy. And Jim won't let Tara hang it because it creeps him out.
Yeah. I don't know where I'd put it. I'd have to put him on the staircase going upstairs, I think. Because like upstairs, our ceilings are a little lower. And that's a really big, it's a big frame. I mean, shoot, that thing's got to be almost 4 foot tall, isn't it? That old antique picture, that portrait of that guy, that Irish guy. Oh, yeah. It's tall. It's in like a gold gilt frame, but it's big. On a wall going up the stairs. Yeah, I'd have to put it up the steps though. No, and I don't think I really wanted it.
Put it in the front parlor.
Yeah, the parlor is full of eBay crap right now.
Okay.
So.
We're in the parlor.
Yeah, I'm surrounded by eBay. Yeah, with big desks and monitors and a bunch of eBay crap that I'm working through. So I look like a squirrel living in a nest.
Did you you gave up on the idea of the little outbuilding, converting it into your eBay room, right? In like a 2-story thing?
Yeah, I store all the stuff is stored in totes out in the garage. Yeah, we talked about it, but then I guess there's part of it where it is easy to work in this At least I'm not. It's in its own room in this house, so that's kind of nice. Because when I lived up north, I was doing it in my living room.
Right.
I don't know. No, because I got other projects I want to do in front of that. So I mean that would be like, I don't know, down the list, like in the 20th space or something like that. I guess as long as I have storage where it's not in the house, that's fine with me. I don't mind having my computer in the house. So there's other projects I want to do first, though.
I'm sorry, I was catching up on the chat. I missed it.
Uh-oh. Anything good going on there? I'm doing a listing.
That's right. Just chit chat.
Oh. Tom, dead air.
Oh, I was catching up. I'm not one of these young people like y'all that can do 3 things at one time.
Well, I think you're supposed to. I've always wanted to go skeet shooting, and I've never did it. I mean, I've shot, but I've never did clay to do it. And I think I actually have a clay thrower somewhere, like a manual one, but we just never did it.
My brother should have a couple of them because I helped buy one of them when we were young.
The thing of it is, you have to have a good spot to shoot that clay, because I know on the box it says don't let animals, like livestock, ingest the clay, broken up discs or whatever. So it's not like I could shoot them in the horse area,
Right.
So then I'm like, well, do I want all these broken up, clay pigeons laying somewhere? I don't know.
Good morning, Nikki.
Oh, wow, Nikki's in here. Well, there's somebody you should get on the show. We haven't heard from her in a long time. Oh, you shoot random dishes. That's good.
Mr. Sadie, you sound like one of our kind of guys. We just shoot.
I've always wanted to have I don't have one. Actually, I've always wanted to kind of have an over and under. I just think they're cool.
Yeah, like I said, we must have been in our mid-20s, and Terry and I went out and bought a skeet thrower and a couple of boxes of skeet, and we went down to some people's property, and basically we were on top of a hill, and when it would throw the skeet, it would go out. It was like over the top of the trees and everything. So
yeah,
we just like populated their forest with
broke up clay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we'll do like target shooting and stuff.
Roberta always wanted to get into bow and arrow.
Brandon does archery. He likes shooting guns better, but he's on the archery thing for one of his sports in the winter.
Well, bows and arrows is elegant.
Is it?
Oh. And shotguns are, just brutal mass killing of the.
I don't know. If I had a choice between getting shot with a shotgun or a bow and arrow, I'm not sure I wouldn't take the shotgun. Not that both of them wouldn't hurt, but I don't know, the idea of having a wooden doll shot through my body, that doesn't sound very appealing to me.
Yeah. I have to laugh at my brother and my nephews all the time. Well, my nephew and my nephew-in-law, because they get up and they go hunting, deer hunting, and Roberta and I'll sit in our sunroom and watch 6 of them in the backyard.
Yeah. Well, that's because they know they're not in danger at your house.
Say that again.
I said the deer are relaxed there because they know they're not in danger at your house of getting hunted.
Yeah.
Deer are smart that way, honestly. Like, you ever notice, like, You know, when deer hunting, when rifle season comes along, I mean, it gets a lot harder to see deer. I don't know if you ever really noticed that.
We see them all the time here, year round, because of of the way the city is. It's crisscrossed with creeks and everything, and they're everywhere. And because they're not allowed to hunt. You know, they're just the population's getting stronger and stronger.
Hmm. And then they eat up all your gardens and all that kind of stuff. And get hit by cars and that.
That's the thing. The hit by cars. That's where it
Yeah.
gets kind of testy. Um, Scott, you still in the chat? You going to do the show tomorrow?
Scott does it tomorrow, doesn't he?
Yeah. He's in his recliner in the living room watching it on the big screen.
Mm.
So he probably hurt his back over the weekend.
The Life of Riley, sitting watching the big screen.
Good morning, Mike. It's so you're done with going up to Wisconsin for the year, or you're going to make one more trip up
No,
there?
Jim's gonna try to go up there at least one more time. So we'll see how it goes.
It's about time for snow to start up there, isn't it?
Oh, I'm sure they probably already had a frost, but I mean,
They're usually good till Thanksgiving.
you're usually good for getting in there till about Thanksgiving time.
Oh, okay.
And Jim, well, that new truck he got, honestly, it does have 4-wheel drive on it too, which is good for that, you know. So if there is some snow, he does have 4-wheel drive.
Is he taking the trailer with him?
Yeah, he's gonna take the gooseneck up there. He's gonna bring home I got a Volkswagen up there I'm gonna use for a beater, and if I don't like it, I'm gonna sell it. But he's gonna bring that home, and we have a trailer up there. He's gonna bring home that we can use for firewood.
Right.
Anyway.
Is the Volkswagen like one of the 70s models, or is it one of the new?
No, it's like a 2000 Bug or something like that.
Oh, it's one of those. It's one of the reboots.
Yeah. I bought it because I'm like, oh yeah. And I always would say it was cheap. It was $400, and it's a cute car, but I always said I hate Volkswagens, and I would probably still say I don't know why I bought a Volkswagen Bug, but anyway. So I'm gonna bring it down here. I'm gonna drive it because it would be cheap on gas, and if for some reason I hate it, I'm just gonna sell it.
Well, it won't be too much longer before Brandon will be driving.
Yeah, he won't drive that, Tom. Yeah, I already said, hey, Brandon, you can just use that Bug for your first car. He's like, no.
Well, you know what you need to do? You say you either drive it or you ride the big yellow limo to school.
He's like, no, I'm not driving that. He wants the Lincoln. He wants the Aviator. I'm like, I don't know about that.
You know, it's been a long time because the boys were little, but Sasha was seeing a speech therapist.
Yeah.
And there was one of the moms that would show up with her teenage son, who was also using the same speech therapist. They had one of the little electric. It looked like a oversized golf cart, but it was street legal. And he drove that to school. He was in high school. He drove that to school, and he said his friends were giving him up the road about, you know, what are you driving? And he's like, I'm driving my car that my dad paid for. I'm not riding the big yellow limo. And for those that don't know, that's a school bus. Because I think some states are orange, not yellow. But it had when you put it in reverse, it had a built-in beeper to let people know
Mhm.
that you were in reverse.
Oh, there you go.
But it was pretty cool. Like I said, it looked like a big golf cart. It had the
No, Brandon does not need something with a big back seat. And I don't want to get him a pickup truck either because I don't want him doing something stupid like going mudding somewhere and getting hurt or stuck. I'm going to buy him something that's got to stay on pavement and not have a huge engine so he can't kill himself racing or something.
You better just go ahead and give him that Volkswagen. Either that or find
Yeah,
him.
he don't want to drive it. He's a little jerk that way. He's like, no, 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 I don't want to drive that. He thinks it looks like a girl car.
My uncle had a neighbor, and he collected things. You remember the Volkswagen things?
Yeah.
And he had like 3 of them that were actually street legal and he could drive on the road. But they would have all kinds of different color fenders on them because he would buy an old wreck and because he needed a fender. And he would just, so it might be a yellow thing and it might have a brown fender on the front left hand side and it might have a black one on the on the front right hand side.
Yeah.
But he liked them because he could pull the engine out on a Friday afternoon, and by Sunday afternoon it was totally rebuilt back in the car.
Even the old Bugs, that's what they were like. And they were made like Jim told me to just have their engine replaced. Well, like Jim put a new radiator in that Bug that I got. And you have to take the whole front clip off in order to put the radiator on. And when you do the radiator, you should change out the water pump and something else. And he didn't do that. And of course, when we put it back all together, then it was like that was starting to fail. So he has to finish. He has all the parts for it. He has to finish it up, and then we got moving. But a pain. And it is weird to look at because you got to pull off the 2 front fenders, and the whole front clip comes off in order to do that kind of work.
Well, you know, the Chevrolet Traverse, you have to take the front end off of it to change the light bulbs. And good morning, Miss Deb. It's good seeing you. I had to have the blower replaced in my Outlook. They had to take the whole dash board out to get to the blower.
Is that a Subaru?
My Outlook? No, it's a Saturn.
Oh, okay. Whew. I thought you were a Subaru driver. I'm like, wow, I didn't know you were that kind of person.
No, I've never liked Subarus. They're too small. Even though I thought that if I was young, you know, like in my 20s, I might like to have one of the Bajas, you know, the little truck looking thing.
Oh yeah, those are kind of cute. I was gonna call them a Brat, but that's a Suzuki. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
No, Brett's Subaru.
Subaru makes a Brat too. But you remember like the Dairy Queen guy in Eagle River? He had that little trucky looking car. Those things look kind of cool. But the idea that Dairy Queen guy is driving one makes me think that it's not that cool. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about.
For the price,
he's kind of
adorable.
adorable.
Things you can go out and buy a Tahoe or Explorer.
Oh really? I don't know because I don't buy new cars ever.
I
don't have a car payment, and I don't want to have a car payment if I don't have to. Yeah.
But yeah, just tell Brandon since he won't drive that one that you're going to start looking for him a.
What is Brandon? He won't drive it. Oh, he wants. You know what he really wants? You know what he really wants? He wants a Pontiac Aztek. Remember those Aztecs that made by Pontiac? And you know why he wants it? He was really into watching Breaking Bad, and that character drives that Aztek, and that's why he wants one.
He's at school, right?
Yeah.
Those are some of the ugliest vehicles that anybody has ever made.
He wants an Aztek. He's really into them. He wants an Aztek or a Chrysler 300. There's a real pair, hey.
Well,
but he was saying, well, you know,
tell him why he wants a Chrysler 300.
Why?
Because he thinks it looks cool.
Oh yeah, he thinks it looks
cool.
Who in
the F thinks of Chrysler 3? No offense to anybody who owns one, but no one bought it because they bought it because it was what they could afford, not because it was the coolest car in the lot.
Oh boy!
Now listen, the 300s used to be able to fly because we had one, and that thing would.
No, like the modern one, like in the last 5 years.
Okay, now this was a 2000 model.
Yeah, I mean, like in the last, let's say 5 to 8 years, that Chrysler 300.
It's and they have huge back seats in them.
But he don't need a huge back seat.
Well, you were talking about you were going to get him something that didn't have a big back seat in it, so
Yeah,
you
no,
don't
he
want to
doesn't
get him
need.
one of those.
No, he don't need a huge back seat. He don't need to haul the people around.
It's they were just Aztecs were just before their time.
No, the Pontiac is done now too. But honestly, you can find those Aztecs for like $2,000 or something like that.
This guy I used to bowl with, he had a Pontiac Fiero. You know what, the one with the plastic?
Yeah.
It was plastic. Actually, he had. No, he didn't have the Fiero. What was that? Yeah, well, he had a Fiero, and he got rid of the Fiero later on and got that Pontiac little 2-seater convertible thing.
Is that like the Solstice?
Maybe
it
that's
newer?
what it was.
It's kind of round looking. It's a 2-seater.
Yeah. Sasha saw one of those the other day. And he says, "I like that," because he likes little cars.
Yeah.
And I said, "We'll get you one. Just start looking for one with low miles on it."
Yeah, they're cool. I mean, like if you have a 2-seater, I mean, yeah, I could have one, but then there's like, well, do I really need that? I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm getting old. And like, are me and Jim gonna be driving around, the two of us around the countryside, just driving around in a car, like sightseeing or stuff? I don't know if we do that much.
Sergey and I were at the grocery store or something and we came out of the supermarket, and sitting beside my Outlook was a new Corvette. They look like Ferraris.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, I said, that is a pretty car, because it was that dark burgundy that Chevrolet has. And he said, "Well, you and Mom get one." And I told him, I said, "Look, first of all, we'd have to spend $10,000 on it, having jacks put on it, so we could push a button on it like Speed Racer, so the car would raise up off the floor raise up off the ground about 18 inches to 2 feet, so we could get in and out of it."
Mm-hmm.
Because my knees just can't take sitting low.
Oh boy. Well, you gotta cram yourself in one of those. You gotta stay young.
No, those things are about 120 grand.
Yeah.
No lag. I'm not a Corvette guy. I'm more of sitting in the back seat kind of guy with a driver, or sitting in the front seat and my wife driving.
Driving Mr. Tom.
That's right. I do not like to drive. I haven't liked it, I just don't like to drive.
I like to drive. I like to be in control.
That's what Jim says.
Yep. Jim hardly ever drives.
Unless he's going by himself.
Well, he bought that Ford F550, and the guy replaced the seats in it with leather seats, but in the driver's seat they didn't put the adjuster to slide the seat forward, so it's kind of set in one position, which works good for Jim, but it's too far for me, so I can't drive that truck, because he's like, "Oh, don't worry, yeah, we'll get that seat fixed, so you can drive that truck too." But I noticed that the seat's not fixed yet. So
no, is it a dually or just
no, it's a dually.
Well, I'm just looking at pictures. They're all dualies.
It's a Super Duty. Yeah, it's a Super Duty. I think it pretty much would be always dualies. I mean, they might make a Super Duty that's a straight axle. I don't know.
Ooh, and they're kind of pricey too.
Yeah, well, we bought an older one, so whatever.
Yeah. Well, this 22.
I mean,
is
probably new. I mean, probably if
$67,000.
I went to a dealership and bought it brand new, it's probably $100,000 truck.
Yeah, this one's here's a 2022 with 56,000 miles on it. They want 67,000.
No. For at the time, it was the best deal I could find. I was trying to get a Western hauler, and they were running around 18 to 21,000, somewhere around in that neck of the woods. And Jim found this one. He thought it was a better deal. Anyway,
That's a Ford too. Oh wow, that's a big truck too.
oh, next to the GMC, I got that 3500 GMC dually. That Ford truck looks a lot bigger.
Probably like them big trucks.
Yep. Well, you know, when you get in it, you got to do something. You know, it's going to handle it.
Not like that egg hauler Scott.
Well, I'm not going to diss Scott. He really likes his F-150, and that's not very nice of me to make fun of somebody that has a smaller truck.
Well, that'll teach you to lay out. Oh Lord, you know, it's amazing how much these vehicles cost now, and now they're not doing any dealing because they don't have to, because there's not any.
I went to that horse show last weekend in Alexandria, Kentucky, which is like up there, like by the Ohio border by Cincinnati. We were driving on the freeway, and this person I'm with, he goes, "There, look at that." He goes, "There's all those trucks sitting that are waiting for chips." I mean, there must have been 20,000 trucks sitting out in this big lot waiting for chips. That's where they're putting them all. Jim, I actually saw it. It was off the freeway there. John showed, he goes, "There's all those trucks waiting for chips." If there was one truck, there was 20,000.
Yeah, they can't make a gas truck. How the hell are they going to make an electric truck?
Yeah, it was amazing. It's just a sea of brand new trucks. They're out in this big lot. They're not undercover, so they're all getting sunbaked and shit like that, and they're all waiting for chips. Anyway, yeah, it was something to see.
My older brother, he had an F-150. So it was my dad's truck, and it was totally loaded to the gills. Anyway, a guy ran into him, totaled it. They started looking at other trucks, and my younger brother, he's talking to their Ford dealer, and he's like, "Can you get me one that don't have a chip in it?" Put the chip in it out of, the one that they just totaled. He said, "No, yeah. They don't match up."
Yeah.
Well, they do, but they won't do it.
Oh, that's right.
Actually, you can clear the chip. You can clear them and put a junkyard module in the truck, but the dealership won't ever do it. You'd have to find a mechanic that would do it. Or buy the stuff to do it yourself.
There's a guy over in Kings Mountain, North Carolina. He buys old trucks, like the 60s and the early 70s, before they started putting all the smog crap on them. He buys those and strips them down to the chassis and rebuilds them, and gets a pretty good amount of money for them because they have nothing on them. I mean, as far as the smog and all that kind of crap.
I have an 84 Oldsmobile 98, which, if it was gasoline, would have had the stuff on it. But because it was a diesel engine, and those 84 diesels, they had casting problems. They all went to crap. It has a gasoline, 1985 gasoline engine in it that was set up for computer, but the guy who I bought it from, he says, we won't put the computer chip back in there. He goes, we'll just put an old school carburetor in there, an old school distributor. And mine runs on points. I have the only module it has is an ignition module that goes in the it does have an ignition module in the distributor. So I guess actually, no, it doesn't have points, but it doesn't have a computer controlled distributor. And So mine runs no catalytic converter. It's got the diesel exhaust on it, and runs great.
You know, you talking about distributor caps and points and stuff like that. You just blew out half the people in the chat. They're like, "What's that?" Except for people like Mr. Sadie.
That was one upgrade he did do it. He took that. We had a points distributor, and he did put a module in it. But I mean, you can buy those at the parts store. I mean, they'll sell those. It's not like there is no computer in it. There's no drivetrain control module or engine control module or anything like that.
It's you know, I remember servicing, because we did all that at home. We'd take it, you know, changing off the distributor cap and the plugs and the wires and the points, and we just did all that. And nowadays you got to have a $100,000 computer to tune up your car. Well, it's 10 o'clock. It's the witching hour.
Time for you to get to work.
Yeah. And Roberta's got a phone call, so I got to get out of here. Thank y'all for coming in. Look at Scott's channel tomorrow. Go over there and give him a hard time about taking the day off. And we will see you tomorrow. Thank you, Tara. Thank you for everybody that came in. And you're always welcome to come in, Tara. You know that.
Thank you. All right.
All right.
I'm not always around, but thank you. All right. Bye.